See if you guys can hear me now. I think I fixed it. See if you guys can hear me now. I think I fixed it. See if you guys can hear me now. I think I fixed it. Alright, now I can tell it works. So, sorry about that. Little technical difficulties. First time doing a live stream here. But let's get into this week's games right away. I think I fixed it. Alright, now I can tell it works. So sorry about that. First game, little technical difficulties. First time doing a live stream Arena here. Football League. But let's get into the Orlando Predators games right away. Go on the road. Alright, now playing Tampa Bay. So sorry about that game. Little technical difficulties. First time doing a live from the Arena Football League. Tampa Bay. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Thought maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Tampa Bay. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Thought maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Tampa Bay. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Thought maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Tampa Bay. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Started maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Tampa Bay. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Started maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Tampa Bay. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Started maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Tampa Bay. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Started maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Started maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Started maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Let's get into the Orlando Predators games. Go on the road. Started maybe playing Tampa Bay. Sorry about that game. It was just technical difficulties. First time doing a live Arena Football League. Is that better, Scott? Just testing it out. Sorry about this. Is this any better? Is the echo gone away? All right. Let's get back into it. I think we talked enough about the Tampa Bay game. Like I said, Kennedy's got to figure it out for Tampa. I mean, the way that looked, that game went. I mean, they have a chance against Portland and everything, but I mean, it was just it was a poor performance, not just in talent or anything like that, but in effort. It just seemed like they gave up. You know, even in the third quarter, I think they just, which is crazy. It was a rivalry game, all that kind of stuff, but we'll see. Why is it doing that? I don't understand where the echo's coming from. I got my... Does that sound better? All right, let's keep this going. Okay, so game 2. If you missed the beginning, I just went over Orlando, Tampa Bay real quick. Going over game 2, Philly at Cleveland. Philly won 69-41. That was the game that Slasher was at. So Philly went into that game. In my opinion, I think they're going to be the Arena Bowl champs this year. They started off that game pretty proven that was going to happen. I mean, they just took it to Cleveland that first half. Other than the one bad throw that Rodaball had, it was embarrassing for Cleveland right away. But awesome on them. The 3 teams that got handled at home between Portland, Cleveland, Tampa Bay. Cleveland was the team that actually showed up in the second half. It was good to see. I was surprised that Deeker came out in the second half. I really thought that they'd bench him at halftime, just thinking, hey, it's not your night. You're still our quarterback. But, I mean, he still came out in the third quarter. I think he still threw a pick or 2 in the second half. But they came back. I mean, I think it was a 20-point game or so in the second half, which obviously, as you guys know, in the Arena League, that's nothing. So, as far as stats, what sticks out? Like I said, Deeker went 19 of 35 for 4 interceptions. My apologies, and 2 touchdowns. That's definitely not going to get done. On the other side, Dan Rodaball, who is the defending league MVP, which, like I said, he showed it. Other than that second interception was just amazing by Powell. It was a nice diving pick. But that first one, he had no business throwing that one. He was late on the throw, threw it all the way across the field into the flat. He knew better than that. That was just a mistake, first game, but he still played good. 21 of 33 for 7 touchdowns. Like I said, it was nice to see Cleveland come out in the second half and show some fight and not just lay down. It kind of looked like Philly may have let off on the gas a little bit, but let's see here. Next, the nightcap on Friday night was the Arizona Rattlers going on the road to face the Portland Steel. This game pretty much went exactly how everyone thought it was going to go. They went into Portland and that just horrendous sticker on the end zone. They make all new uniforms, and they're fine and they look great. They don't look tacky at all. They look amazing, and then they throw this 6-foot sticker over the word Thunder. I know it'll fix. I think Portland will get it fixed later on, but that for the first game, knowing that they had changed their team name 2.5-3 months ago, I know it was in January. That was kind of embarrassing to be on the on national television, but like I said, I think the Steelers are going to get it fixed. Yeah, so Slasher was at that game. He's here in the chat with us. He said Deeker's capable, but he was way off that night. Not a great quarterback, but a serviceable one when not pressured. Yeah, I really just think it was not playing the last 2 years. I think that was his first game back from sitting the bench and watching Shane Austin the last 2 years. So, and I mean, Philly's no slouch. It's not like they went out there and played like that against Tampa. Now, if they do it again this week, then obviously we'll see. But I think we're going to see a lot better showing from Deeker this week. I think he just ran into a buzzsaw with Philly. But back to the Arizona game. I mean, really, it was the Rod Windsor show. I at one point I was wondering if Portland knew who Rod Windsor was, because I mean I think it was his second touchdown. It was in the second quarter. I mean, there was no one within 10 yards of him. You could see the way his body went, that he was just waiting to get rocked, and he kind of just like stopped, looked around, realized there was no one around him. That should never happen with a guy like Rod Windsor. I get that Arizona has a pretty amazing, on their offense, the receivers are amazing, but you can't let Rod Windsor run around that wide open. Obviously, there was a blown coverage there, but still, I mean, he had 4 touchdowns by himself. By himself, he had 4 touchdowns, 7 catches, 86 yards for Rod. Davila went 10 of 16, 119, and 5 touchdowns. That's when you could put up 80 points and your quarterback only throws the ball 16 times in the Arena League, you're doing something right. Obviously, they had 2 pick sixes. Kerry Reed had 1. Arkeith Brown had an amazing one there in the first quarter. That diving catch was pretty sweet. As far as let's see, Benson ran a lot. He had 4 carries for 7 yards. Doesn't sound like a lot. Obviously, it's Arena League, but he had a lot of carries and a few touchdowns himself. He had 3 touchdowns. Actually, he had 3 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. So he kind of stole the show, him and Windsor, from Davila. Davila basically was just picking and choosing. I mean, they weren't even touching him. Other than the one hit that he got rocked in the first half, where his helmet went flying off. Other than that, it was the Rod Windsor, Michael Benson show up there in Portland this week. Slasher says they didn't have enough time or money to get the end zones replaced. I get not replacing the end zones, because you never know with next year and everything, but if they're really trying to push the Portland Trailblazers to come in and buy the team and run it, they've had to have been able to get a sticker that was wider. I mean, I know they probably bought that one and then maybe they just measured it wrong or whatever, but if you can pay for all new uniforms, helmets, granted that's stickers, but still all new uniforms, you got to be able to, one sticker. I mean, they had all the steel stuff all around the stadium. Just, obviously just make a bigger sticker. Just cover where it says Thunder and no one would have said anything. But the fact that you could read the word underneath it, I think that was the issue there, at least for me. But that was all the Friday games. We went into Saturday hoping that there was going to be a close game, hoping that it wasn't going to be over by halftime like the first 3 games. And luckily, we got a show on Saturday. LA, Jacksonville, if you missed it, it was back and forth the first half. There was no stops in the first half. It's 33-33. It was a great play on both teams, really, at the 1-minute warning. Jacksonville forced LA to take all 3 timeouts. They tried to stop on the 1-yard line. Dominique Pittman made a great play, pushed him into the end zone to get the clock to stop. It was great by LA. Stanley, he was hurt. I think he got hurt mid-second quarter. He was wincing, holding his elbow, shaking his arm, pretty much the rest of the game. He went out there and just put on a show, especially after he got hurt. I mean, that was such a gutty play and performance by Nathan Stanley. But that drive, they had 30 seconds with no timeouts, was great by Stanley, and they scored with 4 seconds left. Didn't give Arizona any time. That throw was absolutely stunning. It was a bullet. It was great. It almost looked like he was going to go up and hit the bar, but who was that? I think that was, it was Collins, right? Yeah, Brandon Collins just jumped up out of nowhere and just snagged it out and pretty much landed on the boards there. That was a great play. And then the second half, like I said, it was 33 all at the half, where I was just hoping, that the LA is obviously watching them the last 2 years. LA was in a lot of close games early, and then they would just get blown out in the second half. So it was good to see that they carried that momentum into the second half. They got obviously lucky with the 2 bar balls. It was great positioning by Haidari. They got the 2 bar balls. They got an interception. They got a fumble recovery. I mean, when you can hold Jacksonville's offense to 6 points in the second half, you're doing something right. So that's Tommy Grady is a former MVP. I mean, you got Tiger Jones, you got Joe Hills, you got Derrick Ross, you got all these guys. That's pretty good by LA to hold them to 6 points. You can obviously tell that their quarterback or their coach is a defensive guy. But stats wise, both quarterbacks played well. Tommy Grady had that 1 pick by Kaiser, but that was more of just a great play to tip it up in the air. But Grady finished 22 of 33 with a pick, 4 touchdowns, and then Nathan Stanley went 27 of 36 with 5 touchdowns. Donovan Morgan had 3 touchdowns. It was kind of the same with him and Windsor. Morgan had 3 great touchdowns. Just kind of wondering where LA or where Jacksonville was really targeting, because I mean those 3 touchdowns I'm pretty sure came in 4 drives. It was awesome by the captain there. But final score, LA wins 64-39, improved to 1-0, beat Jacksonville for the first time. But for all the 4 games, for me personally, I gotta say my player of the week, I gotta go Nathan Stanley with LA. He comes in, everyone thinks, okay, is he gonna be good? Is he just a product of San Jose? What exactly is going to happen? And he comes out, gets hurt in the second quarter, and then just continues to play really well, especially for being hurt. So to throw 5 touchdowns and no picks when you're in obvious pain like that, I gotta go. And you have the most impressive win, in my opinion, with the kiss over the Sharks. My most impressive win of the weekend. I got to give it to Nathan Stanley in week 1. Congrats, man. Great performance. And way to find Morgan. It was nice to see a quarterback for LA actually get the ball up to Morgan. I know Morgan had a ton of touchdowns last year, but when you get close and you need someone to throw it to, why would you throw it to anyone else? So it was nice to see him give him a few jump balls. Let's see. So that's the recap of week 1. Quick look at week 2. We got Tampa Bay at Cleveland, like I mentioned before. I think it's going to be a lot closer. We'll see really where Cleveland is and Deker is, and if Tampa's really that bad. They start the week off, and then we got Portland at Orlando, Arizona at LA, which is the game of the week. Portland, LA, which I'm glad that one's on TV. That one's either on CBS or ESPN. Not sure either way. I know that they're on national television. And then last is probably the second best game of the weekend, Jacksonville at Philly. All 4, actually, even though the 2 earlier games, I think Tampa Bay Cleveland is going to be better than it sounds after week 1. I really think it's going to be a good test to see where both teams are at. Orlando obviously that's going to be a bloodbath. Let's not even try to sugarcoat that one at all. But LA, Arizona is going to be great. Philly at Jacksonville is going to be awesome. But stats for this weekend, like all together, let's look here. Obviously, I pulled up. You got to check this out. If you don't know, check out AFLdigital.com. It's a new thing that the Arena League started this year, where they're actually posting they're taking the stats in their own hands instead of going third party. So it's nice to see that. You can go on here and check out just a bunch of stats on here. It's awesome. Individual stats. Let's see. I'm trying to look at efficiency here. Yeah, so I gave Nathan Stanley my player of the week this week. I got he had 156 passer rating. He was number 1. Randy Hibbard, number 2, 149. But I really just want to bring this up, man. You guys got to check out AFL Digital. It's an amazing site. I'm glad the AFL came out and did this. It's awesome. Real quick, I want to go through my power rankings for the week. Get a drink. Actually, let's see what Slasher has to say here. So, Scott here says, Morgan occasionally takes plays off. Great when he's on his game. Excuse me. This pollen's killing me. I apologize. Apologize about that. Too many haves, have-nots last week. Much better matchups week 2. I agree, man. I agree. I'm happy to see this week much better games. As far as Morgan, you're right. He does take some plays off. I still think he's the best receiver, in my opinion, in the league. I'd take him over anybody at this point. But as far as my power rankings, if you guys haven't checked this out, right now they're on my Arena Football Outsiders blog, but I'm gonna move them over to AFL Fan Zone once we get a chance. We're trying to get that website up. It should be up here soon, but as soon as it gets up, I'm gonna have this up on there. So, starting with 8, Tampa Bay. Of course, to me they're number 8. I think Portland and Tampa Bay are pretty much the same team. They could be pretty much 7A and 7B, but when you're Tampa Bay and you go into a game, it's supposed to be a rival game, and you don't show up like that, and it's at home on your home opener. I mean, you can't put anyone other than Tampa Bay in number 8. Oh, I don't know, man. Real quick, I wouldn't put T.O. and Donovan in the same. I'd say skill-wise and body size, but I really don't think Morgan's as big a punk as T.O. was. I think Morgan's a much better team player than T.O. was, in my opinion. But back to the power rankings. Number 7, Portland Steel. What can I say? They didn't show up week 1. They're playing Arizona, and it's not like they were really afforded much of a chance this year with the league taking over. But Danny Southwick didn't do much. He had a couple good passes in the first half, but they really could have used Shane Austin. That's bottom line. Colt Lyerla looks good. The other receiver, Perry looked good. There was a couple good plays by Portland, but we'll see again. Like I said this week, if they get slaughtered again, which I think they will, I think it's just gonna be a long year for Portland. Bottom line, number 6, I got Cleveland. Cleveland's that team that I think all the other teams you can kind of say, yeah, you know where they stand, but Cleveland, I really think they are in the bottom 3, but they have a good receiver core. They have a young, athletic defensive backfield. To me, they lost too many players. I mean, they still have the same coaching staff, but if they can get all those young guys working, I think Cleveland could end up being okay this year. But right now, I still think that there's a straight line between teams 1 through 5 and teams 6 through 8. I think Cleveland, Portland, and Tampa Bay are by far the 3 bottom ones. Just in terms of all 3 of them are the 3 that have quarterback issues. They have defensive issues. But Cleveland, of all 3 of those, have the best chance to move up. But they still sit at number 6 after that performance against Philly. Number 5, Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a lot of people's pick to be in the Arena Bowl and represent the American Conference. They went over to LA. A lot of people thought that they were going to win that game. I picked LA to win. If you saw my preview video on Saturday, I picked LA to win. I thought it was going to be a little closer. I thought the first half went pretty much exactly how I thought it'd be. Two good offenses going together. But I still got to put Jacksonville at the bottom there. At the bottom of of all the top 5 teams. Jacksonville. 4, I got Orlando. You could make an argument Orlando could be number 3, but the way LA Kiss played in the second half against Jacksonville, a team, like I said, who was an Arena Bowl favorite, I got to put the Kiss above. I mean, Orlando beat Tampa. I mean, you hear my list. I think Tampa's the worst team in the league. So for Orlando to go in there and blow them out, I don't think it was that big of an accomplishment. I want to see what they do against one of the big teams, see if that was a fluke or if that's really how good Orlando's going to be. If it is, then watch out, because they got the players. I mean, they got good offense. Their defense is strong. They showed it against Tampa. Jacksonville is your preseason number 5. I had them at 3. They're my biggest drop. I had them right after Philly and above LA, but I dropped them down to 5 this week. Like I said, Kiss 3, Philly 2. Philly had a great. If the second half of that Philly game would have went the same as the first half, then I probably would have jumped Philly into the Arizona spot. But they kind of took their foot off the gas, which they can't do. You can't get used to doing that against bad teams and just be able to flip a switch against a good team. You got to be able to just keep throwing it at them, keep running it down their throat, all that kind of stuff. Philly should have won by more than they won by, but they still won by a large margin. They still look great. Rodabaugh still looks good. So I still got Philly number 2. Yeah, you're right, Scott. Their defense is insane in Orlando, and that might be all it takes. I mean, if Randy Hibbert's, obviously, he looks like he's been getting better every year. If he continues to get better and that defense continues to play that strong, it's going to be tough, especially if they're hosting games in the playoffs. So leaving that with Philly at 2, Arizona I got at number 1. They easily could have won last year if it not for San Jose, a close game in San Jose. So you really can't, as long as all things are equal, you can't put anyone above Arizona. I mean, until they lose, until you get knocked off. They were 3-time champions before last year, of course, so they could easily be 4-time champions right now. So until someone beats them, Arizona's number 1. But I gotta say, as far as uniforms, Arizona's got to drop those socks. I know it's irrelevant to the sport, but wow, those socks were hideous. If you guys saw the game Friday night, they got to go. They got to do away with those socks. Those are awful. They should have just went full white. You know, they had the orange on the side, but then they should have went full white. But that's my power rankings for this week. Like I said, they're going to be up on the AFL Fan Zone, so when that site goes live, they'll be up there. Every week from here on out, it's going to be up there. But yeah, that's basically all I got. I see Slashers in here commenting. I see there's another watcher in here. If you got anything to say, let me know. It's been trying to get this going, trying to get more content out to everybody, doing as much as we can, doing videos, got this YouTube channel, got Twitter, follow us everywhere, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. But that's it for our first Monday evening quarterback for the Arena Football League. I hope you guys enjoy this week's games, but come back on Wednesday for the weekly update where I go over the news, transactions, all that kind of stuff. And then starting on Thursday, I'm going to have two previews, one for the LA Kiss Arizona game, and I think one for Philly and Jacksonville. But no one's got anything else. Yep, you're right. Could have been 5 times if you go farther back. So, but that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please share. Please get the word out. I mean, we're here just to give the content out to you guys. That's all we're really here for. It's fun for me to do this for everybody, but it's really about promoting the league. I love watching the Arena League. It's football in the off season. That's the main reason why I watch it. I tried watching basketball, I tried watching hockey, I tried doing all that other kind of stuff, but the reason I'm doing all this with YouTube, and I partnered with Scott at AFL Fan Zone because I just want to get the sport out there. We all love the AFL. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're a fan of the Arena League, but I mean, it's like I said, it's football. It's football in the summer, and I'm sure there's other people that are the same way. So get your friends out. I got 2 new fans this week. They're still kind of on the edge. They're still more, hey, it's not as good as the NFL. I'm trying to break them away from that. This is something completely different. But I mean, it's free. It's completely free to be an AFL fan unless you want to go to the games. They're on national television, and if they're not on national television, they're on ESPN3. So if there's any sport to watch, this is the one. If you don't have a lot of money, you don't want to invest a lot of money into it, watch it on ESPN3. Watch it on national television on ESPN, CBS Sportsnet when it comes on. Stay locked into us here at YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. We'll bring you as much information as we can. But I don't want to ramble too long. I just kind of throw it out there. This is why I'm doing it. But I'll be doing this every Monday. So let everyone know. I know this was late notice. I don't have didn't get a lot of information out beforehand. I kind of came up with this last minute. But I'll make sure to market it and let everyone know it's going to be going on every Monday. I'm going to do shows on Monday. Got my weekly update on Wednesdays, previews and recaps on the weekend. So if you want AFL news and you want stuff that's just about the game and not just about all the backside stuff, I'm not interested in conspiracy theories and who's getting paid on the table and who's doing that and who's cheating and all that. There's sites, if you want that kind of stuff, then there's sites out there you can get that kind of information. That's not what we're about. We're about the game of football. We're about the game of Arena League football. And we were going to focus on the game, the positives, the fun part about watching football. So I'm not into that drama stuff. I don't watch a Lifetime. I'm not into that kind of stuff. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then hopefully you keep it locked here, and then we can change your mind. But that's it for me. Yeah, good. Like AFL said, subscribe. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Just press the subscribe button, share it. You know, get the word out to other people. There's only one other Arena League channel really on YouTube, and all they do is they pluck games from another website and then they post the full game online. That's it. So if you want a community and all that kind of stuff, then you stick it with us, and we'll keep up with you. AFL Slasher goes to a lot of games, so I mean, he's got exclusive photos. I think he picked up like 200 pictures last week at the Cleveland Philly game. So if you want that kind of stuff, that's what we're about here at AFL Fan Zone. But I thank you for coming here tonight, or if you're watching this later, I appreciate it, and I hope everyone enjoys the games this weekend, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.